to another video. Today we're going to be doing, as you can probably see by the title of the tag and the intro, we're going to be doing the Zimbabwean tag. In case some of you didn't know, I am Zimbabwean, born in Zimbabwe but not raised in Zimbabwe. I was raised in Australia. Depends on how you want to see it. I spent 5 years in Zimbabwe, and then I have spent 17 years in Australia. So I practically grew up here in the diaspora. So I'm going to go through some of the tag questions. I might added some extra juicy questions to my tag. Even though there is no tea, there'll still be juice. So we'll start off with question number 1, which is what I answered anyway in the intro. Where were you born? I was born in Chitungwiza Hospital. That's where my mummy had me. That's where I came into the world in 1996. That's where I was born. Question 2. Can you speak any of your country's native language? So Shona. Can I speak Shona? It's a very debatable question. Some people would say that I can't. Some people would say that I can. I personally think that I can. Those who are closer to me, who are closer to my friendship circle will probably say that I can. Those of you who are not, those of you who don't know me will probably say that I can't, because I'm more fluent in English than I am in Shona. Personally, for myself, I have seen that there's a lot of hostility, mocking, laughing at some of us who try to speak Shona in certain situations where Shona isn't your most fluent language. Personally, for myself, I've experienced this so many times, which is why I've just recluded to not speaking in Shona at all, or just speaking in English and then speaking in Shona with those that I know I'm comfortable with, and with those that I know who will not mock me if I say something, or be like, oh, you can speak Shona, or laugh at my pronunciation of certain words. What food do you enjoy the most? One food that I enjoy the most, and I think most abundantly, is sadza. Surprise, surprise. I love sadza. Like, it's just that staple that you need. And I'm not a fan of having sadza every day, morning, noon, and night. But sometimes you need a sadza. You need a sadza at least 1 to 2 days a week. Because I know I myself, sometimes I'll come back from uni or from work and I will be craving sadza because I'm so hungry, because I haven't eaten well throughout the day or anything like that. I remember once when I was coming back from school camp in like grade 6, we had the worst food at the camp. Terrible food. And then I came back from the camp, and I remember my dad picked me up, and the first thing that I said in the car with him was, can we have sadza for dinner? Because I was so hungry. And we got home and we had sadza for dinner, and I was like, you've done well. What are some of the struggles you face being raised in the diaspora? So some of the struggles I face being raised in the diaspora is probably the it's sort of in between of being, you're not Western enough and you're not Zimbabwean enough, that in the Zimbabwean culture you're not exactly welcomed enough, or you're not welcomed as a Zimbabwean. I guess I can give myself as an example that sometimes I feel like I'm not welcome within the Zimbabwean culture, within the Zimbabwean groups, because I don't speak Shona enough. I don't look like I'm interested, or there's just this stigma or this bias given to you from the beginning that no, valid, so we don't associate with her. I remember one of my uni friends that was Zimbabwean. After me and her had been together for like a year and stuff of studying together, she came to me and she's like, you know, Tatenda, when I first met you and I first spoke to you, I was like, this one, she's a salad and unonoza. But now that I know you and I've gotten to know you, I realize that you're not that. It's just that you look like it. And I shouldn't judge your book by your cover. And I think we sometimes judge people's book by their cover and just that's it. So I feel like sometimes that's where the issue is in being raised in the diaspora, that like you're not there. You can never be fully accepted into the Western culture because you're not them, you know? So that's one of the struggles that I've personally myself faced, that people think that I'm something when I'm not that, and they based on that they judge and they're like, nah, you know? And it becomes an issue when with some people the Western culture is accepting them more than the Zimbabwean culture. I wouldn't say that for myself, because personally I found myself a good group of people that are welcoming and, you know, are comfortable and are understanding. I'm comfortable to speak to them in my butchered Shona. I'm comfortable to learn from them. If I'm not understanding something, if I don't get something, if I don't get a joke that was sent, they'll sit there and they'll explain it to me because I want to learn. And I think we need to be more like that. What part of your culture do you want to pass on to your children? Pretty much everything about my culture. I wouldn't say everything, but I do want my children to know where they came from, what their country went through to be where it is now, what's happening, what's going on, what this means, what that means. I want my children to know who they are, to know that their identity, and to know that yes, they are living in Australia, or wherever I'm going to be living by the time I have children. Yes, they're living here, but you are from here, and this is what here is like, and this is what here went through, this is what Zimbabwe went through to be where it is. I personally for myself did not grow up there, so it's you know, it's even difficult for me to explain stuff like that, but I want them to know who they are. I want them to have an identity and know that their roots are Zimbabwean. They're not Australian. Though their passport may say Australian and their birth certificate may say Australian, they are Zimbabwean and they are from Zimbabwe. I want them to know how to speak Shona, how to be able to have a conversation. And I know that will come from me learning, which is what I'm trying to do now. It'll come from me teaching them, giving them a conducive environment for them to be able to learn stuff. Children learn from their parents. If their parents are not speaking Shona, they won't. If their parents are not educating them, teaching them, they won't learn. So I know that I have to be the one, if I expect something out of my children, I have to be the one to take the steps. Are you dating a Zimbabwean? Would you date a Zimbabwean? Let me reword it. Would you date a Zimbabwean? Yes, I would date a Zimbabwean. Yeah, I know there can be a lot of negative stigma with Zimbabwean men or African men, that African men are not romantic, they're not good boyfriends, they're rough, they're harsh. Personally, I think it depends on the person, to be honest. Whether they're Latina, whether they're Afghani, whether they're Nigerian, whether they're white, whatever it may be, each person has their own sort of behavior. I think it depends on that. It's not dependent on whether the person comes from Africa or whether the person comes from Zimbabwe or Nigeria. I think that's a stigma that needs to be gone with. It's not just a characteristic as in, oh, Zimbabwean men. No, it's not. And it also depends on how you want to view it. Personally, my preference, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't, my preference is to be in a relationship with a Zimbabwean and marry a Zimbabwean. It'll be a lot easier, personally for myself, as well as it would be easier for me to marry a Christian. So I would prefer to marry a Zimbabwean who is Christian, because that's what the environment that I want my children to grow up in. I want little dark-skinned children pressing around saying mama, mama, because that's what I want. Each person is different, but I wouldn't say that I wouldn't date a Zimbabwean for a certain reason, or I wouldn't say that Zimbabwean men are this, that's why you don't date them. I think that's a sort of, and we're not helping, honestly, when we as Zimbabwean women are saying that our Zimbabwean men are like this, and then we're saying that we as Zimbabwean women are not supporting our own Zimbabwean men. What more other people out in the world if we are not even supporting them, and we ourselves are saying, oh, Zimbabwean men are not good boyfriends, Zimbabwean men are not romantic like the Italians. Well, are you romantic like the Italian woman? Are you romantic like the Italian woman? That's a question that you need to ask. Anyway, answering the question, yes, I would date a Zimbabwean. Personally, at the present time, I am dating a Zimbabwean, and I'm very, very happy with my Zimbabwean guy. He's just as romantic as the Italians and everything else. He is his own person. He's not characterized by being a Zimbabwean. I'm done with that. Are you proud to be Zimbabwean? Yes, I am. I'm very, very proud to be Zimbabwean. Some people may think I may not show it as much as I should show it, and that may be because of everything that I've discussed before, that I feel like sometimes I may not be fully accepted within the Zimbabwean community, but I am proud to be Zimbabwean. I am proud of who I am. I'm proud of my roots. I'm proud of my hair. I'm proud of my skin. I'm proud of my name. I love my name. You know, I'm proud of who I am to be Zimbabwean. Everyone's, oh, can I call you, Tat? Can I call you this? Back in the day, you can call me, oh, Tiny. You can call me Tat. You can call me this. These days, I'm like, no, it's Tatenda. I can help you to figure out how to spell it out if you want. I can teach you. I'm happy to be who I am. And I think as I'm growing older, and now as compared to me when I was 15, 16, I want to know more and I want to learn more. And it's really the grace of God that I've been given such good friends and good people and a good bae who are willing to spend the time to help me, to teach me, to educate me, and to keep me well versed within my community and who I am as a Zimbabwean. So I would say yes. Yes, I am very proud to be a Zimbabwean. I love being Zimbabwean, and there's nothing else better than being a Zimbabwean. So thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys can relate to some of the things that I have discussed, or some of the things that I have pointed out. Let me know in the comments section what your favorite food is, what your favorite Zimbabwean food is, or some of the struggles you faced being in the diaspora as a Zimbabwean. Like this video, make sure to like it down there, and also subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you've been enjoying my videos. I post a video every Friday. Every week I post a video. If you don't want to miss any of my videos, make sure you click the bell button down there. Or is it there? I can't remember, the camera is flipped. Make sure you press the bell button and you get a notification every single time my video is posted, so you can be one of the first people to watch it. Thank you guys so much for watching.